What's up, guys and girls? So we've already learned about what sprints are, and in this video I'm going to show you a tool we use to manage sprints, which is Trello. Now, we use different tools depending on the projects we're involved in. When we work with bigger companies, as when they're our clients, we tend to use a tool called Jira, which allows us to do a lot more than just Trello. But Trello is free, and we use it for Meta, in fact. And in this video, I'm just going to show you a quick snapshot of what we do on Trello. And I'm just going to show you the meta board that was used to create this platform as we speak about it. Let's get started. So as you can see, we have some very, very simple segmentations. We have to do, we have doing, we have up for code review, we have completed, we have to improve, and we have scoping. That's it. That's it, right? Maybe if you're far along into your product journey, you could also have archived, which is something you want to have if you've run out of or you have too much in the completed area. So if you just want to see the latest ones completed, you can see it here, and then you can move the rest. Let me actually add that list, archived, right? So if something's completed, you can just pull it here, right? So as you can see, the owner of this board is Keshav, who is the developer for this platform for Meta. We have Kiran, who also works on Meta. We have Satya, who also works, Sankalp, who also works on Meta. We have Tejas, who is my CTO, and we've got Satya, who also works on the front end of Meta. So as you can see, it's a 5-6 man development team, some of the best developers that are available in India, in my opinion, who are trying to build this platform. And again, it takes us also a lot of time. So as you can see in the to-do, let me just show you a simple issue. Fix all video player controls. So maybe there's a problem with video player control, so that needs to be fixed. Now, when Keshav or Tejas or Satya or Kiran are developing something, they just take something from there, from the to-do bucket, and they drop it into the doing bucket, right? Now, when you create a new task, let me show you that, right? Let me show you how to create a new card. So just click on add another card, and I'm just going to say, well, fix landing page design. Right, so I just made this card, and when you click on it, you can edit it. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to add the card to a member. I'm going to add it to me. I'm going to assign this task to me, and I'm going to give it a label. I'm going to give it an orange label just to differentiate it, so I know what. So different here. The reason there are no labels is because my team is very experienced, but and they don't need to use the labels anymore. But I like using labels, so I know that all the red color tasks are important tasks and they need to be done quickly, even though I don't need to see the due date. So you can actually add a due date. Let me make it by 11th. Let me save that. So I've given it a due date, and whenever you complete it, you can just check it. Right. So I'm going to say, well, card needs to be, landing page needs to be designed well. Right. And if I have some activity, I can write it in. It's very, very simple. And I can attach some files if I want to. Again, simple stuff. So yeah, and if I want a card to have a bunch of different tasks in them, I can actually add a checklist. So I can add a checklist. So I'm going to add a checklist, and I'm going to say, well, in this fixed landing page design navigation bar, take photos for hero section, which is hero section is usually the top section of a website. Shoot testimonial videos, yeah, and so on and so forth, right? You can keep adding these, and that's it. You just close this, and you have this in the list, and when I'm ready to start doing this, I just pull it up, put it in the doing section, right? And whenever I'm done, I've written the front end code for this, I just pull it into up for code review, and then my CTO Tejas goes through it. Even though Tejas works under me, he still does all the code review because we can't have bad code enter the platform. And this is a sample card, right? I don't write front end code anymore, but if I were doing it, this is how I do it. And then once I'm done, first I would check all of this off. So I just check this, 100% done with the completion, put it in completed somewhere. And then later, if Tejas thinks that it needs to be improved or someone thinks it needs to be improved, we just drag into to improve. And then when we look at something in the to improve, we see why it needs to be improved. And then we pull it back to to do, right? With a new checklist, which is improve the footer on this page, right? And we set a new deadline and we uncheck it. So that's how we move it back to the to do, right? But after it's done, we move it to archived, right? Unless it needs to be improved, we just move into archive, which means it's completed, it's been a while, it's spent a lot of time in the completed basket, we're moving into archived, right? Scoping means that it's a task that we might want to do in the future, but we're not interested in right now. It's like a nice to have, and we need to do some more research before we actually put this onto our platform or even know where to start. Some things it doesn't go exactly in to do. It's before a to do where you're like, should we do this? What are the implications involved? What software do we need to do? Do we need any third-party tools? So that's where scoping comes in, which is we don't know yet. We're scoping it out. So yeah, I'm just going to delete this. Get rid of this. Right. Some people actually have, you can actually right-click and archive. There's a way on Trello to do archive. I think this is new, but I don't use it. I create another archive board because I want one board with clutter on it, just to see that we've accomplished what we needed to accomplish. All right, so that's it. All right, guys. So that's it for this video. It was a quick video on Trello. Again, every time you decide to do a sprint, just put a bunch of stuff into to do, and then or into doing, and then finish that up. And when the doing section reaches 0, right? When this section here reaches 0, then you start your next sprint, right? And between two sprints, when you're taking the break season, I like to call it a break season, then you do code review and you look at things that need to be improved, you scope stuff, because it's hard for you to scope stuff while you're doing something, right? So periods of sprints followed by periods of lesser intensity work like scoping and improving and refactoring code. Refactoring means maybe you've written 5 lines of code, but they're not the most optimal way to write that code. Maybe you could write it in 3 lines. That's what refactoring is. You're going back and making things easier to read, easier to manage in the future. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Catch you on the next. Bye-bye.